Hello, everybody. It's Dana Sullivan, the Stampin' Chick, here for day 11 of the 12 days of Christmas tags. How are you today, my friends? I hope that you are doing well. Let me do a quick little regroup on my camera here. There we go. All right, guys, I am going to be using the Shepherd's Care stamp set today. And hi, guys, how are you? I see Mr. Sullivan is here, Tinker Tom, and Miss Dawn. How are you, darling? Thank you guys so much for being here. When you come in, please say hello. I love to hear from everybody and be able to know who all is here, even those of you who like to lurk in the shadows just a little bit. Come on in and say hello first. All right. As I was saying, we are going to be using the Shepherd's Care stamp set. This one is going to be a jumbo tag. So if you like tags, this one is going to be a great one for you to see. We're going to do a little bit of embossing work and things like that. And I'm hoping that this tag is going to be a very classy and elegant, but also fun tag. All right. So let's get started, shall we? Hi, Miss Sherry. How are you, darling? Okay, I have already done just a little bit of work for us because I didn't want to make the noise of embossing. So I have gone ahead and embossed the shepherd and the star. And I did that stamping it in Versamark and embossing in gold powder. So if you ask the question, can you emboss distinctive stamps? The answer is yes, but, okay? But it does look, it still has the bit of distinctive look to it. However, you really have to pay attention to the embossing because in these shadowy areas, it doesn't look like the embossing powder is heating up. It looks like it's still just laying there powdery, right? So you want to be really careful that you don't burn your embossing powder while you're trying to get an even emboss. That's not going to happen with the distinctive stamps, right? Because the texture in the stamp is going to give you the shading and the highlighting, right? And the same here with the star. Don't mind my little spots right there. We're going to cut those out anyway. But you can see that the outer parts of it are more gold and shinier than the inside part. And that has everything in the world to do with the distinctive stamping stuff right here. Okay. So with that in mind, and just so that you're aware of that, embossing with the distinctive stamps is actually very, very pretty. As you can tell, it still has that distinctive kind of texture to it. So that's wonderful. All right, I'm going to be fussy cutting these two pieces. And I think I'm wanting to use shaded spruce cardstock and the shaded spruce color. So I'm doing shaded spruce and gold. I will need your help because I've got other options too. And as this is Think Tank Thursday, you guys are here. You're going to be helping me make decisions, I hope. And so we're going to go ahead and get started, all right? Hey, Miss Elisa, how are you, darling? Okay. Just like in the last few days, of course, if you happen to notice that I don't say anything for a second or whatever, it's because I have muted my microphone because I am still dealing with that ridiculous coughing fit stuff. So bear with me, okay? We'll do the best we can and hope that we will be a-okay. But we'll start out this deal with fussy cutting this part here, okay? Hey, how's it going? All right. Let me grab my snips. Ow! I'm okay. And I'm going to go ahead and separate these two pieces first. All right. Bring the glasses down and do some fussy cutting. Okay. I'm going to leave a little bit of a border just because, first of all, it helps your project look a little cleaner. When you leave a little bit of a border, it gives you more forgiveness with regard to your cutting not being straight or not being tidy or whatever. And I'm going to be putting it on. Oh, sorry, darling, I will do that. I'll have to go into my settings later. Actually, you have access, so you should be able to go in and do that unless it's going to kick me out, and then maybe don't do that yet. Okay, everybody, Samantha Burris is actually my eldest child. She is really stepping in and going to be helping me out with all of my social media stuff, and she's helping me with my video things for the new show that's going to be coming out very, very soon. It will premiere on Wednesday, January 8th at 4 p.m. And that'll be on Prime Video. Where all is it going? Prime Video, Roku, Spotify, a bunch of different places, actually. So I will definitely be getting the channels posted to you guys here soon, the links. They're currently not active, though, because this is a brand new network. So, the links are not currently active and won't be until January 6th. So January 6th is when the first show on the network is going to be premiering, and that's when those links will be going live. So I'm not able to share them just yet until the channel goes live. And I will get those to you as soon as I can, though. That way you're ready to be following along with me there. And I hope that you guys will all wish me luck, because even though I do videos regularly here with you guys, it's a little bit unnerving. I'm kind of nervous about it. So I've been fretting just a little bit. But it's going to be great. It's just me overthinking and being a worrywart, so it's all good. But it's really nice to have my kiddo helping me out with it, because she knows a lot more of the techie stuff than I do. And so she's going to be helping me out a bit more and be able to do all of that stuff for me. So also, she is here moderating, so that in the event some kind of a weirdo comes in, she can get them booted out pretty quick. I don't think we'll have that issue just yet, but just in case. All right, now you guys know I am not the world's fastest fussy cutter, but that's okay. So we'll just chat for a minute while I'm cutting, and you guys can watch or be cutting or stamping or doing something else while you're waiting. I'm thinking with this, I've got to grab the gold foil paper also. I'm thinking that we should do a couple of layers behind it. So I'd like to maybe do the shaded spruce for the base of the tag, and maybe do a layer of gold foil paper in between that and the white tag front piece, maybe. I don't know how you guys feel about that. We'll see. You're writing up Christmas cards. Is that what you're doing right now? And finishing your shopping tomorrow. Ah, gotcha. Oh yes, the party police. That's what she wants to call it. I think that's a great way to call it. It's the party police. So anyway, today I have been looking at some different things to do with my lighting and whatnot, because this little strip right here you guys see is from my camera mount, and you know, it just kind of drives me bonkers sometimes, but I try not to pay attention to it. That being said, obviously I need to do something about it, so we're working on that as well, and I'm hoping that some good positive changes will be coming about pretty soon, and we'll have some, maybe, I don't want to say better lighting. Better lighting is not my issue. I've got a lot of lighting, but having lighting in the right places to reduce shadows in the video, that's a whole other animal. So anyway. All right. Now, as I mentioned, I'm fussy cutting around my little shepherd guy here, and I am leaving a little bit of border around him. I'm thinking that we should probably pop him and the star up on the tag, but you know, we'll discuss that as we go on here. So let's see. Almost finished, guys. You know, tomorrow is the last day for the 12 tags of Christmas, and then what am I going to do with myself? I don't know. By the way, that being said, I don't know that I will be here live next Thursday, because that's the day after Christmas. So I'm gonna say that tomorrow will be my last day with you guys in 2024. That sounds so serious, but you know. All right, now then, I've got these done. I'll set them aside. And let me grab my gold foil here. Or we can do some sparkle. So, let me see. Ooh, nope, no we can't. That is garden green, not shaded spruce, and that will not work. Never mind, forget I said it. Okay, gold foil. All right. Now then, let's see. Is this piece the same size? Yeah, indeed. Okay. All right, friends, what I'm thinking is something to this effect here. Okay. With a white layer here. And let me see if I've got it. Okay, so here. Right? And then let me bring this in just a bit. I'm trying to get out of that spot so that it'll show a little bit better. There we go. Okay. Now then, we've got our shaded spruce background and the gold foil, and I think maybe even just a little bit more of that foil showing would be a good thing. And then we'll pop him up and pop this up. And I'm going to do a little bit of stamping for the background, or we can do some coloring maybe around the edges. Okay, so let me see here. If this piece is 3 inches, we want this one to be 2 3/4. So let me grab my paper trimmer. All right, and you know, before I did that, I should have decided if that was going to be big enough, but yeah, I think it will. All right, very good. Okay, now then, I am going to go ahead and trim this to make my tag, okay? And the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm going to be layering this thing. So I need to put my corners on here first, and then when I layer it on, I'll be able to line up those as well, okay? So let me trim this down first. Okay, this is 6 inches, so this needs to be 6 1/4. Right? Let me double check my measurements. Always double check your measurements. Yes, 6 1/4. All right. Here we go. And then this piece will be 6 1/2 by 3 1/4. Okay, so yes, we are talking about a bigger tag. Now, that being said, my friend Amy might argue that this is actually not a jumbo tag. Miss Amy loves great, big, beautiful tags. We're not going to do it quite that big, okay? All right, now then, let's see here. We want to do a little bit of stamping. So I don't really know that I want to do it on here just yet. Okay, here's my question for you, friends. We're doing basically this right here. All right, so we've got our tag pretty well worked out here. And this and this. Okay, so we've got the basics of our tag here. Do we want to use some blending brushes and maybe blend in a little shaded spruce edge around the white? Or do we want to keep it crisp and clean? So that is our decision number 1 for the evening. Are we blending on a little bit of shaded spruce on the edges, or are we keeping it crisp and clean? Let me know in the comments, and I will get started on the next thing. Okay. All right. Okay, it looks like you guys would like a little bit of shading around it, so let's do that. And where's my little scrap paper? All right, here we go. Shaded spruce. All right. I'm going to try to keep it really light and close to the edge because I actually don't want to put very much on there. Okay. All right, that's going to be pretty. Okay, so here's just a quick little glance at what it will look like. I think that's going to be very pretty. I think that'll give it a nice little finished look. All right, before we get up to the top and shade all of that up there, though, we need to go ahead and cut our corners here. So let's do that right quick. This is where you get to decide how wide, how detailed, whatever your tag is, okay? And then once I cut it, I like to bring this side over here and line it up with the edge, and then I'm going to just give it the tiniest little bump out. Okay. Just a tiny little bit, and that should get me relatively it didn't at all. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now, let me do just a teeny tiny little bit more here. This is sometimes where I struggle. So once you get it, just leave it. All right, there we go. That's better. All right, now here's the way that you line it up so that you get a relatively even border. All right. I'm going to take this piece all the way up to the top edge of the paper, okay? And then I'm going to make sure that I'm centered. That's very important. Okay, you want to make sure you're centered in the paper. And then I can line up my snips. And then when I bring it down, let me line it up here. You get a pretty even border. You see that? Pretty cool, huh? Okay, and then we do the same thing with the shaded spruce. So we're going to put the gold all the way up to the top, and I'm going to line up the sides left and right to make sure that they're relatively even. Hold it down firm and trim along the edge. There we go. And obviously this person is going to be very, very special because I didn't even die cut out of the center before I'm going to layer it on. So they get a whole piece of gold foil. Yeah, very special people indeed. All right, let's bring the white piece back in here and finish doing our shading. So we're going to just put a little bit there around the edges. Okay. That's yours, huh? We'll see. All right. Now, if you've not used the blending brushes before, they're really easy to use, but there is a technique to them. You want to draw up some ink, and I like to go around the outer edges of my ink pad because typically when you stamp, you just kind of gravitate to the center of the ink pad. So what happens is that the center of your ink pad runs out of ink before the outside edges do. And so I like to take the brush around the edges. That helps spread the ink out a little bit, and it helps to use up some of the ink around the edges, right? Okay, and then I give it just a little tap off the edge because the bristles kind of, I don't know. To me, if I tap it off just a tiny bit, it takes off a little of the edge and it softens it up. And then you start off the edge of the paper onto your scrap, and in a circular motion, start working your way up to the item that you're trying to color. Okay, so as I'm starting here with the circular motion and I'm working my way in, I'm not actually putting any pressure on the brush. I'm just guiding it around the edge. If you put too much pressure on the brush, you will start to see streak marks, okay? So a good rule to remember here is that you can always add more ink, but you can't take off what you put on, okay? There we go. I think that's probably pretty good. Maybe just a tiny bit more right up here, actually. You can see my little snowflakes are getting color. They're magic. Actually, they were stamped in white craft ink, and now that they've got blending color over them, they're coming out. All right, let me set that off to the side for just a minute, make sure that I don't get my fingers in it. And now we have our 3 tag layers. Okay, so we've got that there. And the question is, do we want to just poke a hole and use the ribbon to hold the 3 pieces together so that they'll be able to kind of float around like this? Or do we want to glue them straight on top of each other? Like so. Okay. Are we gluing them straight, or are we letting them hang free? Okay, that is your next question. While you guys are deciding that, I'm going to go ahead and add some dimensionals to the backs of these pieces, just so that we've got it ready when we're ready to go. Sherry says she was thinking about that. A lot of specialty DSP, so it has to go to someone special. Exactly. Exactly. Hey there, Estrada. How's it going, sweetheart? Hope you're doing well today. All right, I've got 1 vote for gluing it straight and 1 vote for hanging free. So I need a tiebreaker, folks. Should we let the tag hang loose and free, or should we glue it straight together in the layers? All right, so hanging loose and free, we'll put the hole and the ribbons will hold the layers together. Gluing it straight will glue all of the layers down so that it doesn't move. Okay. All right. I'm doing good, doll. I'm still coughing a little bit, but it's not as bad as it was yesterday. Actually, last night, we were sitting down to have dinner, and I hadn't even put the bite in my mouth, so I didn't choke on my food or anything. But when you get ready to take a bite of something, you actually take a breath first, right? And then you put a bite in your mouth. Okay. So that tickle in my throat happened about that time. And so before I even got the bite of food into my mouth, I started coughing. And then I started coughing wildly out of control. And then my nose and sinuses, everything like clogged up and congested instantly. My eyes started watering. I couldn't breathe. I was coughing like out of control, that awful sounding cough. And I was starting to turn purple. So it was kind of scary. And my husband, Tinker Tom, who is a firefighter, was actually concerned. And so when he gets concerned, it's a big deal. And even the dogs came out of the other room and came in to see what was going on, and like, Mom, are you okay? It was kind of scary. It was really bad, but I don't really know, allergies. That's it. Literally all that it is. Go to the doctor. I've not got a fever. I don't have a virus. I'm not sick. But apparently my allergies are kicking my tail in the worst kind of way. So, it's awful. All right, we have 2 votes. We have 2 votes for Lucy Goosey. Yeah, I like that. Debbie says whatever she has is hanging on forever. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you what. Do you have a cough also, or what's going on with you, Miss Debbie? All right, folks, I have just cut some little strips of dimensional from the side edges of my sheet of dimensionals here and peeling the backs off just to put them onto the star itself. I'm not taking the backings off of them just yet, but I want to make sure it's ready, okay? All right. Here we go. Yeah, it was really intense. I thought, oh gosh, this is it. This is how it ends. Having a coffin fit. It's going to do me in. Oh my goodness. Okay. Speaking of that, give me just a second, folks. Okay. I've got my water. I've got my ginger and lemon drops, which actually help pretty well. But, occasionally the more I talk, the worse it gets. All right. Now, if we want this thing to hang loosey-goosey, we still want to line it up centered as if it were going to be glued directly, okay? Because we cut these at staggering lengths, right? We cut them so that they would mat down. So, we want to make sure that we're still putting them in that position before we do our punching. So I've got it set up here, and I'm just going to hang on to them and bring in my punch. And oops, I need to adjust that. Fireball. Actually, yes, fireball would be good. Some of that behind the shade tree stuff would be real good too. Anyway. All right. Let's do right about here. I think that's about right. There we go. Okay, now we've got that part done. Debbie says cough, congestion, and sinus. At least you know it's not pneumonia. That's good. You got choked on a drink of tea today. Oh my goodness. I feel for you, girl. I know it's scary stuff. Life flashes before your eyes. It's rough. Okay. Our tag is going to be something like this. And I want to do this maybe in the background here, you know, so that it looks like Bethlehem is in the background there, right? Maybe we'll see. And then I want to do, what sentiment do we want to do? We've got praying that you will feel the Good Shepherd's care in this season and throughout the coming year. That's very pretty. It's kind of long-winded for a tag, but it is pretty. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Kind of sounds like a get well card, right? Which it certainly could be, but not for a Christmas tag. We have Peace on Earth, which I think is probably going to be our best bet. And then this one is actually really pretty too, though. Prince of Peace, Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father. I'm thinking that Peace on Earth is probably going to be our best bet for any kind of a sentiment on this card, don't you? Or tag, rather. I'm sorry. Tag. All right, let me grab some blocks here and come here. There we go. Okay. Now, I've got that stuff set aside. I think we need to decide if we're going to put Bethlehem on here, and if we are, what color are we going to stamp it in? We could do shaded spruce and keep it kind of duotone. Okay, let me just leave that right there. So maybe right about here. What do you think? And then we could do a little banner on this and put it somewhere else. Let's see here. Right there would be good. What do you think? Do we stamp Bethlehem in the background or no? What should we do, friends? What should we do? Oop, hold on now. I decided too late I wanted to keep that tape. Yes, we should. Okay, very good. It does look more accurate, doesn't it? Okay, so yes. All right, add Bethlehem. All right, very good. Okay, folks, now the question becomes, what color What color do we stamp it in? We could do crumb cake because crumb cake would look similar to the gold in regular ink form. We could do, I'm not sure if gray granite would look okay, if it's got enough tan in it or not. You know what? Let's take a look and see. Let me bring in that scrap piece of paper here. And let's see. Actually, you know what? Pebbled Path is pretty dark. Let's see here. Okay, and gray granite is probably not, but let's see. You know what? I don't know. Maybe it would. There's gray granite. It actually doesn't look too bad. And get my cleaner here and show you what crumb cake looks like. Yep. Okay. Gray granite does look all right. It looks like a very antique and, you know, kind of in the distance type of color. Crumb cake does look more like the gold. So I think that either one of them might work, but what do you think? The bottom one is gray granite. The top one is crumb cake. I don't have a blue gray per se. I don't. And shaded spruce is an interesting color because even though it has a bit of a blue undertone to it, it also has enough of the yellowy color that if you were to put a blue beside it, it would definitely look green. You know what I mean? Okay, so are we going to stamp Bethlehem in gray granite or are we doing it in crumb cake? I tend to think, I don't know. What do you think? I'm going to try not to give too much of my own input here and really let you guys decide. Okay. Gray granite or crumb cake? All right. Elisa says crumb cake. Anybody else? And Sherry's guessing gray granite. Okay. So we need a tiebreaker here, folks. I don't think we're going to go wrong with either or. Okay, and we've got another for gray granite. All right, then. So let me set this off to the side here. I am going to leave the star there. Tap, 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 not smush, mush, mush. Figure out approximately where, right about there. Okay. I think that the gray granite does really well in the fact that it's not so close to the gold that it does look like a different stamp rather than it all bleeding into one color. But that crumb cake is very, very similar to it. Okay. All right. So now we have that, right? Okay. Let's see here. Go ahead and pull the backs off of these. Okay. And put him up above Bethlehem. There we go. Okay. And then I think our shepherd man is going to go right there. And then maybe even just a little right there. And then our peace on earth will stamp on white cardstock. Let me grab these off of here. We'll put this on the tag. Okay. All right. Now, let me have a strip of white here. Okay. And, you know, having it embossed in gold would have been the better bet, but shall we do it in shaded spruce? Do you think? Let's say shaded spruce or gray granite for our sentiment. Okay. Shaded spruce or gray granite. And while you guys are deciding that, I'm going to go ahead and work on the ribbon for the tag, huh? You guys are being quiet. You're fine, darling. No worries. Sherry thinks she wants green, but she's not sure. And Dawn says gray granite. Okay. This one's a bit more challenging, isn't it? All right. Okay, I will go ahead and stamp one of each color so that we can make a good decision here. All right. Gray granite. And let's see here. All right, shaded spruce. Alrighty. Okay, here's what we've got. Put our tag back together there for a bit. Okay. All right. We have gray granite. Okay. Beautiful. And shaded spruce. All right. Gray granite. Shaded spruce. You've got 12 cards to sign? Oh my goodness. Okay. Dawn has changed her mind to spruce. And Samantha is saying spruce as well. Sherry is saying spruce. Elisa is saying spruce. Okay, spruce is the winner. Okay. We'll put that on here in just a minute. I want to go ahead and tie on the ribbons. And I've cut several lengths of different ribbons here. So there are 2 lengths. They're approximately 12 inches or so. This is, oh gosh, what's it called? I just had a brain malfunction. It's an open weave, gold open weave trim. So you guys remember a while back we had a silver one that was really pretty, and I believe it just retired. And now we have a gold one, so it's really pretty. And then we've got shaded spruce of the satin and sheer ribbon. That is the And then we have 2 strips of the gold trim that's from the silver and gold combo pack. Okay. And then I also have a little bit of that braided gold thread. So if that wasn't just enough ribbon, we'll see. All right, what I want to do is I'm going to kind of go basically by size, but I'm going to stagger these 2 here because when we put it through, there, we're going to want it to kind of be separated, okay? Now, I'm going to try my hardest to roll this up a little bit and put it through all of these holes. This will be a challenge. Let me line them up so that perhaps I will get lucky and can go through all 3 layers in one go. Okay, I feel like I have a better shot of it there. There we go. Oh, I lost one, but just one, so that's not bad. Okay, and come on, grab it, grab it, grab it. Get the poker out. There we go. All right. Now then, we're going to kind of take our time with this. It doesn't have to take all night long, but you want your ribbon. See how that looks so pretty with it kind of separated out. I think it's beautiful. Okay, right now it looks a hot mess, but as soon as we tie it, it's going to be stunning. Okay, now then, we've got that. There we go. Okay. And let me tie this around all of these ribbons. Like I said, this one is most definitely going to an extra special person. Yes, Elisa, exactly. That wow factor. Yes, it is absolutely beautiful. All right, and then we can kind of tug on the tails just a little so that we don't have any bunching up there in the front. Cinch it up real snug. Come on, you. Oh, don't be a pest. There we go. All right. Bring that down. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay. All right, kiddo. Have a good night. I love you. All right. Let me trim that one. Trim that one. All right. Here, let me bring you down just a little so maybe we can see that a little bit better. All right. There we go. Nice and beautiful. I'm going to keep fiddling with you. Sorry about that, folks. All right. There we go. Absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Okay, now, of course, you can go back in and trim up all of your little ends. You can kind of wiggle around whatever threads you need to or ribbon pieces you need to, cinch it all up and floof it. So you can do that and it'll be absolutely beautiful. Okay. This thread, though, is kind of contrary. You may have to put a little drop of glue on there to get it to stay. Usually I can get it if I really, really pull it tight, but all right. Last thing here, I want to put my sentiment on. Let me bring that up. The tag is so big it doesn't even fit. All right, and I'm going to put my sentiment right about here. So I want to put one dimensional on this side and then two dimensionals on this side. You guys know the drill. That way our layers are even. So we definitely want to do that. I'm going to grab another sheet of dimensionals here. There we go. Okay. One dimensional right there. And then two dimensionals and two dimensionals in the center. Okay. Here we go. And that backing's already trying to come off. So, all right. These ones I'm going to put on the tag itself because I've got to make sure that I don't go over the top of my shepherd, right? So I guess I could do it this way. That kind of makes sense too. There we go. And one more here. All right. Now we've got, excuse me, we've got one dimensional here because it's going on top of the shepherd that already has a dimensional. And we have two dimensionals for these ones because they're going directly on the white tag. Okay. Hold on now, you gotta be straight, friend. There we go. All right. Now that we have that, let's see what kind of sparkle we can get into. Because I definitely think it could use a little bit of sparkle. All right. We have we have the iridescent foil gems. Bring in my tray here. We've got the opal rounds. I don't know, that looks way more yellow than gold, but we have the adhesive backed metallic gems. These ones are, the gold is really nice. However, I think I'm going to pull these ones out because the gold doesn't match the gold foil. The gold foil is a bit more, that more yellowy gold, and the bling is more like muted gold. Okay, let's see here. And I think that those are going to be our best choices. I'm double checking here just to be sure, but I think so. Hey, Anne, how are you today, darling? Thank you so much for coming. That's okay. You'll be able to go back and watch a replay if you want to. But the best thing is that you get to see right now what the card or what the project looks like. I keep calling it a card because it's so huge, but but it's a tag. And okay. Now, I do have the Blooming Pearls, and those ones are a bit shinier. So I think I like those better than this. So here's your options, and we'll stop at these two. Would you rather have the Blooming Pearls, the gold Blooming Pearls, or would you rather have the iridescent foil gems? Okay, so that's the two choices we need here. We just need to decide which ones we're going to use. Okay, so let me know, are we using the gold pearls or are we using the iridescent gems? All right, pearls, pearls, pearls. Okay, very good. Now I will pull those out of the way then and set that aside. Okay. The pearls are beautiful, actually. All right, now then, where to put them? Here. Here. What's that? Yeah, and either one actually would look beautiful. They would both be gorgeous. Okay. All right, guys. There we go. Let me see if I can bring this out far enough. Oh my goodness. Okay, I may have to hold it up. There we go. There's our tag. I'm having to hold it up because it's so big. It doesn't fit in the space. And it does have the little bit of swinging motion to it. So that's really pretty. And I love the ribbon. I think it's gorgeous. That shaded spruce and gold looks absolutely fantastic. Let me just set that back down there so you can see all of that beautiful texture is just fabulous. And I really like the shaded spruce and gold combination. I think it's beautiful. And then there we have it, friends. So we've got our tag Peace on Earth. I hope that you guys have enjoyed today's tag. We have just one more left to go. And I think you guys are going to love it. It's going to be a little more playful and fun. So I've been trying to come up with a really good variety of gift tags for you guys. That way you have a lot of different options to choose from. I know that we like to make sure that our tags kind of match our packages, or maybe that they match the recipients, whether they're a more formal person or more casual and funny. So look over the last several days of the tags, and you should be able to find something that suits what you're looking for. And remember, of course, you can change the colors and all the other things too. So if, for example, you like this beautiful tag, but the shaded spruce doesn't match your gift wrap, certainly you could change that to red or blue or pink or literally whatever color, and it would be absolutely gorgeous, because most colors anyway go really well with gold. Okay. Anne is asking, where can I see all of your tags? So actually, I have got to get them all photographed, and will be posting them on my blog, and each of them will have a link. But if you go to, let's see, you're looking at me on Facebook. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you can find the Stampin' Chick Dana Sullivan, and it will bring up the last 10 videos plus this one will all be gift tags. So actually there's not 10 videos, there's more like 6, because a couple of them I did double. But I will show them to you here anyway. So this was day 1. This tag would have been filmed on Thursday, December 5th, I believe. Yeah, the first Thursday of the month. So that was this one. And then Friday was this one. This is day 2. And then we have day 3. Day 4 was a BOGO. It was a 2-for deal. Okay, so we have these. These are from the holiday ephemera packs. Okay, we got those. Day 5 and 6 were also doubles, and they were more of the ephemera pack tags. So we've got that one and this one here. We have the Jingle Bells and the Mittens. Okay, so there's 5 and 6. We've got 7 was the tree. 8 was the beautiful sled. And then yesterday I did 9 and 10. So you'll see those in yesterday's video. And then today is a jumbo tag for day 11. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with me this evening. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope that you will join me here tomorrow for the final day of our 12 days of Christmas tags. I hope that you guys have a wonderful evening, and I will see you all tomorrow. Okay. All right, folks. Until next time. Bye for now.